कैसा लग रहा है? She asked. Is it everything you had planned for us? He looked up from his thoughts, dazed, looking around as if searching. It felt as if he was seeing the Shikhara, the Dal Lake, for the first time that evening. He adjusted his glasses. He wanted to say no. He wanted to tell her that it wasn't twilight yet, and the kind of blue skies which engulfed everything in its hues of varying shades weren't there yet. The ones he chases at every place with a high enough altitude or situated at a latitude far enough from the equator. He wanted to tell her that the damn song from Hero wasn't playing in the background, Lambi Judai, that they weren't in fact all alone, moving through the Jheel like a silent crease on a blue fabric, and that they weren't 20-year-olds anymore. At this last thought, his gaze panned at her inquiring face. The tiny nose with freckles was all red from the cold. The frown on her brow accentuated the wrinkles that age had brought to her skin, and her grey strands stood out, spectacularly, beautifully. At 46, she was as lovely as she was when he first saw her in college, maybe even more. Couldn't claim half as much for himself, but felt her glow rubbing off on him. Her company made him feel young again, in a way that everything seemed possible and within grasp. Made him feel special, vulnerable, yet safe, alive and happy with a tinge of sadness. The sadness was mostly at the realization of the ephemeral nature of time as it fleeted by, like the water beneath them, pushed backwards by the oars the Majhi of the Shikhara was using. He wanted the ride to last longer than the few more minutes it actually would. Last forever, stuck in this extraordinary moment of beauty. He didn't say anything, just smiled at her. It was getting darker now. The hue of blue finally descended, and then started getting darker, as if urged on by the passing time. He looked at her gazing far away. Her skin and her firan made her look like a part of the scenery. He was mesmerized by her. He started humming the words of a poem he had once written for her. She used to like it when they were young. It took her a moment to recollect, and then she tilted her head sideways to look at him mischievously. The familiarity of the look caused him to skip a heartbeat. Jesters never really do leave us, he thought. They just get older with us, aging gracefully. She said, शायर साहब, I was wondering कि कब महफिल सजेगी. He laughed. शायद बहुत दिनों बाद एक कविता याद आई है. मुद्दत ही बीत गई है, याद नहीं आखिरी बार कब कुछ नया पढ़ा हो. A pause. मुझे पढ़ लो. Her sideway glance lost its mischievousness. Straight with the big eyes, with their ever natural inquiring look. To him, it felt like there was a hint of longing. He wondered if it wasn't merely just his imagination. He figured it was. A few moments of silence passed between them. The sky was getting substantially darker now. The lit houseboats were coming in view in the distance. They would soon reach back. मुझे फारसी नहीं आती. He smiled at her. She feigned offense. क्यों? मैं फारसी में हूँ? He nodded. हाँ. उर्दू पहन के आओ. He looked at her now, feeling a resignation that he had all but forgotten. एक एक हर्फ आंखों में सुनाऊंगा. She looked at him intently. It was difficult to read what was going on in her mind. She looked scared, yet self-aware. For a moment, it felt like she was long contemplating a response. And then she laughed out aloud, in the way that would make her hair laugh and dance with her. She again looked into the distance, looking at the fast approaching destination. The lit houseboats, and the light from them feeling like a bright spill on the silent waters. Her laugh staying in the air long after.